You mentioned in talking about the next record,
Yeah.
whenever that will be, that you'll be having your guys play on the record. What do you have in mind there?
When I first started, I had myself and Kale and Torres and Andrew, the Roberts, and Ron, and I really respect the way that those guys play. Will it happen? I don't know for sure, but I know that I will search for that, whatever it's going to be, whether Andrew can do it, or whether Ronnie can do it, or Kale or Torres, whether all those guys can do it, or even Andrew St. Marie. He's such a good player as well.
Oh, New Andrew.
New Andrew.
New Andrew, yeah.
New Andrew.
Yes.
Which his dad was amused by.
All right, New Andrew. Whether it's a culmination of all those guys, or kind of a hodgepodge of some of them, maybe somebody else, as long as it's a group that plays well together, and that the record can have a vibe. I want it to have a thing about it. I want it to feel real. I want it to feel raw. I want it to feel really good and like a record. And I feel like we got really close with the last one, but it's because I got to play on a lot of the last stuff. But again, I really respect the way that the rest of those guys play, and I think they care enough to make it really good.
Well, we're going to talk about each of them for a second
That's
here.
fun.
So let's make Kale blush.
All right.
He's really grown as a guitarist, and so talk about having him along on this whole journey and what makes him a great friend and bandmate.
I've known this guy for a long time. Played with Kale since Kale wanted to start a band with myself and some friends back in the day. Didn't work. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, probably, and we didn't really try, honestly. And I've always respected the way that Kale goes about music. I think that he's a perfectionist, which is good. I am not. I am let's just do it. If I'm writing a song and it's not finished, I'm like, I'll play it for you guys. And Kale's not that way, which is probably a good thing. And I really respect the way that he cares about the shows a lot. He wants the shows to be just as good as anything that we've seen. We want it to be a roller coaster. We want it to be a roller coaster of highs and fun and some serene moments as well, and some impressive moments where, whether it be me being impressive or other people being impressive, I really respect the way that he goes about making the shows as good as possible. And other than that, he's just a really good friend to have on the road. He's a really good guitar player, and I think he got to show that on his shows. Honestly, we had Andrew on the road with us before, and Andrew's just a phenom, and I don't think people really got to see how good a guitar player as Kale is. He's really, really, really good, and I really think he's tasty. He plays licks that you remember, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's another thing we see a lot is go Kale, and people are noticing. People are
told him
definitely
the other day that he looked like Eric Clapton up there. He's just playing solo, eyes closed, just like, oh my God, how do you do that? He's like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to sing it in my head.
And so you haven't known Torres quite as long, but the bond seems just as strong.
Yeah.
So talk about what he brings to your music and life in general, as well as spending so much time with Carlsbad that you have recently.
Torres always brings that warmth, He always brings that, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. And that's why he's still, with this smaller thing, because he's willing to play cajon and a bunch of other instruments just because he wants to be a part of it, and I think he really cares. I feel like we've gotten really close. I think he adds so much as a singer, and just a presence up there too. I mean, when you watch the shows, a lot of people can't stop looking at Torres. I mean, he's a beautiful guy, and his hair is amazing, and so it's really hard to, not pay attention to him. And I think it really, he adds, and all the guys do. He adds so much to everything that we do, just by being who he is. I love him. And again, I talked about Carlsbad. I love Carlsbad. I love spending time there. It's just a beautiful place, and when you go there, you know why Torres is who he is, because it is when you go to Carlsbad, and if you've met Kris Torres, you go, okay, these are the same thing.
It's like meeting someone's parent.
It totally
That's
is.
where it came from.
I mean, that's his environment, and he is a product of his environment, which is awesome. I love that.
Hold on just a second. So it was great that you were able to bring back Andrew Roberts to work on the Christmas EP.
Yeah.
So just how did that collaboration come about, and how was the experience of making the...
I talked to Andrew, we talked about making the Christmas record. It was really fast. It was like, I want to do it. I don't know how to do it. So I called up Andrew. I knew he had been doing some producing stuff ever since he'd been in Nashville. And, and I'd heard some of his stuff, and we had kind of worked a little bit together and so I just kind of called him up on a whim. I was like, hey man, would you be willing to do this? And it was kind of perfect storm. He had those times measured out to where he could do it, and so I just drove up to Nashville and stayed at his house, and it was a lot of, when you're working with somebody that you know really well, it's a lot of fun because you're willing to do things that maybe you wouldn't do with someone that you don't know as well, So when we're just playing around, and I'm like, Andrew, I want you to play this cigar box guitar, and he's like, are you sure, man? I'm like, yeah. And then he does it, and it works out because it's just two friends working together trying to make something cool. We wanted to keep the songs, the Christmas record songs, still Christmassy, but I wanted them to be my own thing as well. And Andrew really helped out with that. He did an awesome job, really good job producing the whole thing, and it was so much fun hanging out. It had been a long time.